Coming to you live here from Mary, formerly named Merv, Meru, and Alexandria Marjania, is a city on an oasis in the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, located on the Mugrab River. We're here today with ESL Open Cup Asia division. It has A on both ends. I don't know which one. Number 179. I'm, of course, your host, Yaku of Dizaku, and with me today is El Empresario de Vientres que gana dinero asaltando muchas tumbas. Like, _VIP. How we doing, like?
What's up, Yaku? What's up? It is great to be here. It's great to be back once again. Yaku, we thought you were dead. We thought you were dead, Papi. Where did you go? Where have you been?
You thought correct. The rumors of my demise were gravely underestimated.
They were understated, Papi. You didn't just die. You were. Oh my god, it's over, Papi. It's over. But it's great to have you back here once again after such a long hiatus, Yaku. In this short break that you have, we're gonna try and take advantage of that, and we're gonna milk you for all your worth, Papi.
Oh yeah. Oh. After pipeline brunch, ready to go.
And we have a little bit of StarCraft as well.
We do, don't we? That is the best caffeine-ness thingy. Stimulant, that's what I was thinking of. And we're going to kick it off today with a little bit of a ZvP, aren't we? Over here at the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in this top right-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Korea, representing Mystery Gaming. We have RagnaroK.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have as opponent, we have the orange Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MindelVK. Oh, Yaku.
I think we could see. Yes.
Go on.
I was just going to say, I feel like MindelVK is a player who we've been seeing a lot more of lately in the past couple of months.
Mm-hmm. He really is, and I was about to bring up as well that I haven't casted with you in years, but I feel like so much has been going on. So many players have been rising and falling, and I mean, you were here for a lot of it as well. You know, like the rise of class.
Yes, I don't recognize like any player in the bracket today.
they're all foreign to you, mate.
Who are these kids?
When back in my day when I casted Rain, Papi.
Where's Rain? Is Rain still dominating? Is he still winning everything, you know?
Is Soulkey still the best Zerg player in the world? Where's Innovation? Is he still dropping them Hellbats? Where is he?
Is I was gonna say, is Root Lord Infestor still Imba, but then I remembered there was actually another period of time recently where that was a big thing.
Yeah. Feels day to see, man. Feels day to see.
Yeah, feels Abyssal Reef.
True. But yeah, it's great to have you back once again, Yaku, here for a full tournament as well. We also have World Team League after this broadcast, but Asher is going to be stepping in for at least the first match, and then we'll see where we go from there. So you can have some food and we can take a break. It's all good, Papi. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh. See how it all pans out.
Definitely. And in your absence, there's been a little bit of craziness going on, but for the most part, I am really excited to see these two players because, as you were saying, MindelVK has been a lot more active recently, not just in the OSC events, but in other tournaments like the ESL Open Cups as well. And this is kind of the other big major reason as to why there was a time change here to ESL Open Cup Asia. And that is because now it's at a friendlier time for EU players. So now we get players like Dimag, MindelVK, Spats as well. They're showing up here to play against the Koreans.
Yeah, it's a neat little side effect that we've got here, as I believe the reason they did put it back here is because, you know, GSL isn't on Mondays anymore.
True. True, yeah.
So they can actually have it all standardized again.
It all syncs up this time. So we have back-to-back-to-back Asia into EU into NA, the marathon of ESL Open Cups, and we'll see how this all does unfold. For the most part, MindelVK is going for a standard opener, is going for a Stargate into a pretty fast Twilight Council, actually. No Forge here, so this I'm feeling like this Twilight Council is a little bit sus.
Yeah, and we know it's going to be even more sus as a robo facility did just get thrown down. Even more gateways are being thrown down as well. I'm keeping my eye and my mind on that mineral tab, on that mineral bar, because I want to see just how many more gateways MindelVK throws down.
Yeah, show us the glaives, Papi. Show us the glaives. We'll see what he does end up committing to. Meanwhile, back across the map. No, it's not going to be glaives. He's going for charge.
What?
Oh.
Without +1?
Mate.
This could work.
This is going to hit like a truck, but before that happens, Lings are going to be powering down that front wall. They confirmed the lack of base, so they know that something is coming off of 2 bases. What exactly, RagnaroK still doesn't know. Meanwhile, we are pulling out of gas. This is looking like an Immortal slow load all in.
There are those, well, it's still pretty slow. I think charge is buff ammo.
True.
But there is that gateway explosion being thrown down. We are, of course, pulling off of gas, because who needs gas when all you're building are man with gun? Well, the Protoss equivalent of man with gun. Zealots.
Yeah, man, Speedy Boy with swords is pretty damn good, let me tell you. And we do have a third base being taken, but I believe this is going to be fake. Again, there's very little gas to work with. We are just going to be skirting our prism around the edge of the map. No immortals, by the way, so it's just going to be pure Zealot. The prism making its way out, and for the time being, RagnaroK doesn't really know what's going on, but he is going for a safety bailing nest at least.
Yeah, that's definitely the #1 way to shut down a charge lot all-in coming out from MindelVK, but, you know, he also does have to take this pretty seriously, RagnaroK. I mean, there will come a time where he doesn't have enough gas to build as many banelings that can really keep up with the amount of charge lots that are coming his way.
Yeah, definitely. I know RagnaroK is looking to lay siege on this third base. Meanwhile, I like that these gases were taken as well. We're not even mining efficiently from them, but they were taken because the Overlord came in to scout. So again, MindelVK is trying to hide this as best he can. In total, we do have 8 gates, so it is going to be a 2-base 8-gate charge all in. And here we go. The Zelta head towards the third base, the Prism into the main.
And there's absolutely nothing back at home here from RagnaroK. It's nothing to kill here either, but look at all of these banelings that were preemptively made that aren't going to be useful at all. In fact, a couple of them are going to get sniped by Adepts. These Zealots having an absolute field day. Only 1 baneling is in production right now, by the way, and there are only 2, I believe, to actually on the other side of the map. But this is a fantastic surround coming out from RagnaroK.
Yeah, beautiful surround. Meanwhile, the Zealots are breaking into the natural base. The main base has been forfeit because of that surround. The Pureling army, even without banelings, like, we're cleaning up these Zealots.
Yeah, MindelVK, unfortunately, not quite able to find the correct choke points to really push these Zerglings at bay. He's been fighting on the open ground a little bit too much.
Yeah, he wants the hatchery, but the hatchery will survive. The Lings get a full surround. Everything gets cleaned up once again. Drones did go down, but oh, that is a snipe on the Prism.
And that very much puts the end to this all-in. GG is called, and RagnaroK takes game #1. I'm actually curious to look at a replay of that, because obviously this is something that MindelVK practice a lot. It is like the way he went about executing the all-in was, his build was very efficient for that, but the engagement itself kind of fell apart when he fought in open ground.
Yeah.
I would have to go back into replay. I think RagnaroK actually baited that out with a queen or something.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible that those Zealots were left on a move and they were like attacking the queen, for example, and they just chased the queen out into open ground, and then the Lings came in to reinforce. So yeah, very well handled by RagnaroK. A little bit of a lapse in execution from MindelVK, as that could have been a little bit more efficient if he had maybe stayed in mineral lines or just avoided the open ground like that. As we saw, surrounds can be quite effective even without banelings.
Yeah, I really like the build, and I really like the little tricks that MindelVK was doing, just to make sure that RagnaroK was always on his toes. You know, getting gas, not to mine from it, just to trick the Overlord into thinking that he was doing something normal. But alas, the engagement he wasn't quite able to stick the landing there.
Definitely.
The engagement.
Yeah, as you were saying though, like I love the ideas behind this. There was a lot of thought put into it, and obviously RagnaroK is coming in as the favorite, so MindelVK had to come out swinging with something strong out of left field, and yeah, it was a solid game one.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that we see RagnaroK's opponent being the one trying to big brain, but here we are now on game number 2 on Ancient Cistern, where we're here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spotting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Korea, representing Mystery Gaming, old mate Migs. No, wait, no, that's a different thing entirely. He is RagnaroK. Ebiom is his real name.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have as opponent, we have the orange Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MindelVK.
Already kind of throwing something out of left field very, very early on in game number 1. Hopefully he has something else up his sleeve here for game number 2.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how often do you see 2-base charge all-ins, just pure charge ults as well in this matchup? The answer is not really too often. I can't imagine that RagnaroK, I mean, he didn't know what was happening. If you remember, he was out of position with his Ling Bane. He was going for a Baneling run by into the third base, and there was nothing to kill. Like, it felt like everything was going well for MindelVK, so at least when it comes to the strategy that he picked, he did pick correctly. And likewise, just as you said, he needs something different for game 2.
And we'll keep our eyes on what that is. It's very interesting that we're going from altitude to Ancient Cistern here, both of which are the very large, very macro-oriented maps here. Ancient Cistern is, I would say, a little bit more conventional than altitude, or we tend to see more standard play on Ancient Cistern than altitude, but still, I'm used to our players alternating between very big to very small.
Yeah, even if we get when we get like the extremes, when like altitude makes it in, usually that means that like Neo Humanity made it in as well, and we go back and forth there. But yeah, you're not wrong. You know, for the 2 open maps to be let through the veto process, that's very surprising to me. It shouldn't be too surprising, just because recently we have been casting MindelVK, and he has been one to flex Sky Toss quite a bit. And clearly that's not what we got in game 1, but here in game 2,
Thankfully.
it's true. But he may try to whip that out here. Definitely something to bear in mind in the back of your head, is to look at that production tab and see if he does end up committing to like a second Stargate at any point. Isn't the only thing that he does, but like he has whipped it out before in OSC King of the Hill.
Yeah, quite fond of it in his PVZs.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, well.
So we'll see what he does decide to go for here. For the time being, it is going to be a Stargate opener into an Oracle. He's going to be shooing away this Overlord with the Stalker, so he's going to be keeping RagnaroK in the dark for the time being, just going to keep him guessing as to what his opponent is up to. And after game 1, I'm sure RagnaroK is maybe a little bit more hyper aware of MindelVK's bases and scouting in general this time.
Yeah, he's going to be a lot more vigilant this time, I have to imagine, with his Lings and with his Overlord as well, or Overlords. I keep forgetting that Zerg is allowed to scout with more than one Overlord.
That's crazy. It's imba.
Yeah.
Well, for the time being, there's only one Overlord in position. The Lings are looking to threaten that third base to keep things in check, and yeah, we're going to be seeing the third base up and running nicely here. The first Oracle stays at home to make sure that everything is safe and sound.
Yeah, playing it safe this time is MindelVK, just waiting for his second and now third Oracle to pump out.
Yeah, and we'll see if he stops at 3 or if he has something else in store for us here, as the Lings are just going to continue to threaten the spaces. Now that we have 2 Adepts and a shield battery on the way, the Oracles are zooming across the map as we speak, looking to deal some counter damage as they dive towards that main.
Yeah, we do have enough Oracles out to start one-shotting drones, but we also have 2 Queens and a Spore Crawler here, so yeah, MindelVK is going to have to be very, very careful with his control.
Ooh, a bit of an A move there, so the beam does get wasted on the Queen, but we do dive into the main base as well. A lot of drones do go down, and the Oracles do safely tuck themselves away here in the back of the main.
will recall right out of there. So, yeah, they stay alive, which is a very, very important thing here. If you're the Protoss player, you want to use them for later on to harass again, or more importantly, to defend, as I think MindelVK is going to be just macroing up from here on out.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's looking quite standard. He's going for +1, he's going for charge, so this means that he's not going to be active with Blink Stalkers, he's going to be relatively defensive instead, he's going to be walling off back at home, and yeah, MindelVK is going to be going for a more defensive turtle style of PvZ.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can see where this is going, but in the meantime, you know, MindelVK, he's keeping his options open. He is still working on the Gateway army, he's getting his Templar archive, so if it's possible, he would like to end the game earlier than later, but, you know, if the game goes on, if we go past the 20-minute mark, all bets are off.
Yeah, exactly.
More Stargates gonna get thrown down.
We're not quite there yet, but it is definitely possible, as we do see MindelVK just threatening this 4th base a little bit, but it's only 2 Zealots and 3 Adepts. He wants to try to focus it down, and that's a kill!
That is a kill! I didn't think that was going to be enough DPS, and evidently neither did RagnaroK.
Yeah, and now the pressure's on RagnaroK. His 4th base is going to be insanely late. His Lings are rushing across the map as we speak. We have a full wall being set up, and it looks like it will get up just in time. We don't have that many units on the ground, though. We do have another warp in of Zealots, and it looks like we will be able to protect our 3rd.
That was definitely a very high-risk, high-reward thing to go after that hatchery there from MindelVK. That was basically half of his entire army that went down the drain, but thankfully with these oracles and with that shield battery back at home, MindelVK is able to deter RagnaroK for the time being. So yeah, that was just a free kill for him.
Yeah, it really was. And RagnaroK is not droning, by the way. He's staying at a relatively low 64 drone count. He's taking up into Hydras as we speak. So Ling, Bane, Hydra is the composition of choice, and he's looking to hit hard. And his opponent is working towards Storm, but there's no Storm yet.
Yeah, really no form of AoE right now from MindelVK. He's morphing in a couple of Archons, which will definitely help, but once again, RagnaroK just doesn't want to fully commit without the support of his Hydras.
Exactly. He's going to back off, and it looks like he is going to be droning. He's going to be saturating this 4th base. He still has a Ling Hydra army, and again, we mentioned it earlier, like, MindelVK has been taking a lot. That's why he hasn't moved out. Like, he moved out earlier with like 5 units. He got a lot done with it, don't get us wrong, but for the most part, he is going to be stuck here at home. He's going to be taking the defensive role, and oh, he almost gets a massive stasis trap off.
Almost, but not quite. It did get caught right at the end there for RagnaroK, and he did split off a couple of his Lings to trigger that activated.
Yeah, he did. As
Trigger's
looks
not playing.
Unfortunately not. He's not going to be a degen today, at least, as he's clearing up these rocks, getting ready for his siege. He's droned up to 75 workers. Ling, Bane, Hydra still the composition of choice. There is no Lurker Den. He has a more mobile army instead, and he's looking to push on in, but what about the Storms?
Yeah, no easy answer to Storms just yet, but to be fair, there aren't that many of them available for MindelVK. He's got about 1-2 more Storms in the chamber, but after that, he's pretty much out of AoE for a while. The Banelings do go in, and they crash into a couple of charge slots. Nice split right at the end there from MindelVK, but at this point, every killed unit is going to hurt so much.
It really is, and that's a cancel on the 4th base. Both players were so delicate with their control there. They were both dancing back and forth. No one was really committing, and I'm really impressed that MindelVK was able to tango with RagnaroK quite well. He didn't lose a single high-tech unit. He lost some Zealots, sure, but his High Templar did survive, and he is gathering up more energy for Storm.
And now we have plenty of Storms.
Really do. At the same time, the Hydras are trying to power down the gateway wall here on the right-hand side, and MindelVK is going to be in a really awkward position because this Nexus didn't get up and running. That means there's no shield batteries, there's no overcharge. That means that base is that much more vulnerable to a counterattack.
Speaking of vulnerability, yeah, there's nothing in range to really protect these gateways just yet. RagnaroK's army does get split apart a little bit. He kills a couple of gateways, though, which is very, very useful.
Yeah, exactly.
The gateways, the bulk of MindelVK's production right now.
They really are. They're going to be rebuilt immediately as MindelVK is trying to get that 4th base up and running. Still no shield batteries, by the way, and RagnaroK is rotating back around. The Banelings do meet a brick wall, but they just go through anyway.
Yeah, they meet a brick wall, but the bricks were, I almost said flaccid. Thin.
Very good.
The bricks were like, you know, very. They were cheaply made bricks.
Yeah, they're not hard. You know.
That way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't that hard.
Yeah, exactly. They need a. It's like it's okay. It happens to the best of us. You know, it comes with age. Maybe he drank too much that night. He's tired. It's been a long day. Oh, it's gonna go down again.
Oh no. It worked for a little while.
As the
more Banelings crash, yep, into that entire mineral line. That's a very beefy army for MindelVK. There are an absurd amount of Archons, High Templar, and Immortals with them. Unfortunately, it's not a very mobile army.
Yeah, exactly. And we can see that after that first cancel in the 4th base, RagnaroK is making sure that MindelVK never gets a 4th up and running ever again. Just cancel after cancel. And with those bailing detonations earlier, MindelVK is just being starved out as we get a full surround, and the 3rd base is going to go down.
Just like so. We were worried that if this game goes on for more than 20 minutes, then we were going to see some Sky Toss. But apparently, after the 10-minute mark is when we see Sky Zerg.
True. And there we go. Broodlords are on the way. There's the Greatest Flag Corruptors as we speak. So thankfully, RagnaroK, he's not kind of tunnel visioning on Lingbane Hydra. I think he totally could, but he wants to make sure that he's ahead of the curve. He could have gone for Lurkers if he wanted to, but he has the freedom to take up even further into Broodlords.
He just wants to see the Mio Micah style, and you know what? I can't say I blame you, Light. Yeah, RagnaroK is thinking ahead, but yeah, with how starved out MindelVK is being, I have to agree with you. I don't think this game is going to go on for too much longer.
He's basically forcing MindelVK all in. There's no 3rd, there's no 4th. There's a large army. That's a lot of Archons. That's a lot of Immortals as well. Like, this is very beefy, but we're one and done. If we ever lose this army, we won't be able to rebuild it.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a Warp Prism here. There is micro potential. I need you to tell me when the copium reaches dangerous amounts, like.
Oh, it's the way there.
There's nothing here to defend. Yep. That's a beefy army.
Yeah,
the Archons are getting on top of things.
Yeah, he forces a cancel on the 5th base. Or the copium.
Disregard his own main back at home as yeah, now the Broodlord's out and there's no easy way to deal with them. Good game, good luck next round, says MindelVK as RagnaroK takes that series 2-0. Overall, pretty good showing from MindelVK.
Yeah, GG, well played. I'm pretty, likewise, right? I'm relatively impressed how MindelVK was able to hold his own against RagnaroK. I don't think in these 2 games there was too much of a skill disparity that was really apparent. I do think he was able to, you know, go to toe with RagnaroK for a while, and I hope he's satisfied with his performance overall. Again, he still did come in as the underdog, and RagnaroK is still the clear favorite, so I don't think he was quite expecting to take the series, but a good performance nonetheless. GG.
Yeah, I definitely think MindelVK came into this series with the right idea, with the right idea, right? Of this is what I should do, or, you know, throw something out of left field in game number 1, and then game number 2, maybe turtle up a little bit, try to take him to a macro game. Unfortunately, RagnaroK did just seem one step ahead in game 1 and 2, but hey, it's better than being one step behind. Is better than being 10 steps behind.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And even there in game number 2, I do feel like a lot of it, especially after he killed the 4th base of RagnaroK, a lot of it did ride on whether or not Mindel could get his own 4th up and running. Like, if he was able to save it that first time, and again, it was very close between the 2 players. We were kind of threatening storms, but there was a lot of Lingbane as well. Like, if Mindel was able to actually hold on to his 4th base, I'm sure we would have seen a very different game. It's just after that, things very quickly snowballed.
Yeah, that was some very decisive play from RagnaroK, though. Once he recognized, okay, I'm behind, I need to reciprocate. I need to do everything I can to reciprocate without, you know, just throwing my entire army away. And so, yeah, he just did that really, really well. Pressured the 4th base, forced a cancel, immediately went around and started pressuring the 3rd base instead. RagnaroK, when the roads to victory kind of narrow, it feels like that's when he knows exactly what he needs to do to win.
Yeah, exactly. That's when he's the most decisive. I think I would agree there with RagnaroK. And now we're going to be following him into his next series. You can see it on the screen. Up next is going to be RagnaroK versus Oliveira. Oh,
Oh boy.